decorating the cake. And I used this edible fondant glue that I just showed you to stick on the yellow brick road that I made in part 1. And I'm not gonna lie, it looked pretty good. Now it's time for the grass. You'll see what I mean in a second. The piping bag had a hole in it, as you can see, kind of a little bit. But this is my first time piping grass with this tip, and I thought it was so cool. It looked like needles in a way. But now I'm gonna clean up the edges because it was really bothering me to have like buttercream on the cardboard. I don't know. Now I'm doing some piping decorations on the top of the cake. I don't know what this is called, but here's my brother dancing in the back of my video. So that was fun. I didn't notice he was dancing until after I watched this back, which I thought was really funny. But if you know what that border is called, like I don't know what kind of border I did. I just kind of did it. I saw it and I did it. I don't know the name for it, so if you know, let me know. But I did white on Glinda's side and black on Alphaba's side, obviously, for her black hat. But now I'm using the red I made for the little poppies. Like, I think that's what they're called. Poppies on the things that make you fall asleep. Those flowers in Wicked. That's what these are. I think that's what it's supposed to be. Then I had this idea for, like, if I dyed sugar crystals and then put them on Glinda's side, like, it would look so cool. But the first one didn't turn out... The first one didn't turn out as pink as I wanted it to be, so I redid it and used the red ones as the ruby slippers. Now I'm making all the fondant decorations. I made a homemade stencil by printing out a crown, like Glinda's crown stencil, and then cutting it out and putting tape on it to kind of laminate it a little bit. Next, I colored the fondant, and coloring fondant is harder than I thought it was going to be because it got so sticky. I had to put a lot of powdered sugar down on the mat. But these are the two colors I needed. I needed brown, like light brownish, yellowish, I don't know, and dark brown. The dark brown one was a hassle. I did this right before work too, so my hand was all messed up. This was the hardest part. This was Elphaba's hat. I had no plan, so I just like crumbled tinfoil in the shape of a hat and used some black fondant and wrapped it around. I had no plan for this. It was late at night and I wanted to go to bed. But this is the little thing I came up with. Just trust the process. It looks like really bad right now, but I promise you it's going to look so much better later. And like way later. I'm joking, it already looks better-ish. Now I'm gluing on the thing, and I hoped that would work, but it didn't because the hat was just so heavy, it kind of just fell off. But it's okay. Now we're painting the crown. We're painting it with some edible paint I got off of Amazon, and this is the rose gold one. I painted it on both sides, but I had to wait for it to dry first, obviously. Actually, that's not so much common sense, because some people don't have that common sense. Wait till it dries! Because the fondant is made out of marshmallow, it's still really sticky when I tried to shape it into a crown. And yes, I know the crown is really tall. That's how the original Glinda's looked. And my grandma hasn't seen Wicked. She's just seen the original Wizard of Oz one. Now I'm trying to make a broom. I had no reference, by the way. This is all no reference. So I tried to twist it onto a stick, which kind of looked cool. And then I tried painting it with, like, brown food coloring. And it looked pretty cool. I was just doing my thing. But I didn't want to do like a clumpy looking broom, so I took individual strands and I kind of just made it look like a broom. It kind of looked more like a paintbrush though, I'm not gonna lie. It looked more like a brush, like a magical paintbrush from that one Barbie movie. Now it's time to assemble all of our creations. I used a little bit of glue to stick on my crown, and I used a stick to push in Elphaba's hat. And it looked so cute. I had to break the broom. I really didn't want to, but it wasn't going to fit on the cake otherwise. And I just got a wand from Hobby Lobby because I didn't want to make one. And I used those little failed ruby things as the ruby slippers kind of down the yellow brick road. And I used the other ones to hold up the crown. And here's the cutting of the cake. My grandma literally screamed. I don't think I've ever heard her scream in my life. But here's what it looks like. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.